It has been a while since I've done a fish room tour, so I thought maybe this would be the time to do it. It is March 2018. There have been a few changes, not a lot. I do have some fry, which is pretty cool. This rack here has 320 longs on it, and in the top one I have my Alto Lamprologus calvus, which is, there's only one of them in there, and that's him right there. Sorry about the glare. And then I have the Daffodil Bricardi's, and they're finally really starting to, I mean, they were really small, but you can see the fins are really starting to develop on these guys. They're pretty small yet, but it is a very interesting tank. I really enjoy the Tanganyika stuff. And these are my Julitochromis regani. These are a little different than the other ones that I have. They have the striping. I haven't had the regani before. I still haven't had any fry out of them. I'm not sure how many are in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's at least 7. And then I also have, and just so you know, I have some bristlenose Plecostomus kind of mixed in some of these tanks too. And then this one down here is also a 20 long. And I have some Anubias. There are live plants in a few of these, Cryptocorns, Anubias mainly. And what I have in here, I do have 2 of these apple snails in there. And that's why oh, here we go. You don't see these guys very often. If I could just get it to focus in. Okay, there's some scarlet gem betas in there, but they are so unbelievably tiny. But there is a scarlet gem betas back there. It's just hard to see them. I think I have 5, but they're so small. They're just hard to see. Anyway, I have 2 of the apple snails in here, and that's why I finally decided to drop the water level. I'm hoping that they lay eggs and I can get some new apple snails out of it. I had some white cloud minnows in here for the longest time, and then I slowly, you know, their life expectancy isn't a long time, and they slowly kind of have died away. So I need to pick up some more. They're not very expensive, and I do enjoy them. So this rack over here has 2 aquariums on it. The top one is a 40 breeder, and the bottom one is a 37 tall. Now the 40 breeder, I really enjoy this tank. These are my Julitochromis transcriptus, and they are just an absolutely wonderful fish. I have had 3 spawns now. This big one here, that's some of the originals right there. These here are from the first spawn from about a year ago. These here spawned a few months ago, and I have, they hide all the time, but I actually have a new spawn going on in here too. They're really small. It's hard to see them. They spend most of their time under those rocks. So anyway, these are the transcriptus. I really like them. I have one little Alto Lamprologus or Neo Lamprologus multifisciatus, one multi. I would really like to get a colony of those going and see if I can get them to spawn also. They're a little pricey to pick up. I'm waiting for the weather to get a little nicer because I have to ship everything to me. So anyway, I really enjoy that aquarium. This one down here is a 37 tall. There's been some problems with this fish, and I have medicated it time and time again, and I don't know what's going on. It's got a growth on its mouth, as you can see, which isn't normal. So I don't know what to do with it. I'm about half tempted to cull it out of here and then go ahead and completely start over on that aquarium. It's a shame because it's a beautiful tank. And on this wall here, there's 2 aquariums on this rack. The top one is a 75 gallon and the bottom one is a 40 breeder. And the top one, I had my gold severum. Started out, I got him, he was about 1 inch long when we got him, and he's getting big. I mean, look at the size of him compared to my hand. He's just getting huge. And there's been some confusion. I have some people, I always thought these were green terrors, but I had somebody told me they're not, they're red psalms. And after I looked it up, it does seem to me that they would be a red psalm based on their coloration. I believe that's a male, and he's getting big too. And then this, I believe, is a female down here. But now I have other people saying, no, you're wrong, they're not a red psalm, they're a green terror. So either way, they're beautiful fish, they're doing really well. It is a 75. I run everything in here on sponge filters. I do have a hang on the back filter there, and I do a 50% water change on this tank every week. And I also go through the gravel at least, usually about every week I also do that. And this tank down here is a 40 breeder. And what I have in here is I have, Fasciatus. You don't see them very often. They're a little unusual. They are finally getting some size to them. That's one thing about Tanganyikas. It takes them so long to grow. But those are Altolamprologus fasciatus. I also have about 6 compressiceps in there, and I don't know where they're at. There's one right there. There is one right. This camera is just not focusing, but you can see them right there on the edge, the outer edge of that rock on the right-hand side. They like to hide when I come in here, as that's the problem. There you can see them, and that is actually a compressiceps. Takes a long time for them to grow. I run low light on a lot of these tanks so that I don't have an issue with algae. Focused the wrong way there for a little bit. So anyway, that tank is doing very, very well. Over here, this is my 55-gallon rack. I have my Ambunas, and they're always chasing, they're always running. And I found out the other day, when I come out to feed them here about 2 weeks ago, that I have new fry. Near as I can tell, there's about 7 of them. I'm not exactly sure who the parents are and what they are, but there is about 7 of them, and they're of different sizes. There's a little bitty guy back there. It can be hard to see, but there are some that are really small, and then there's some that have a little bit of size to them now. There's one right there, another one right there. And most that I've counted so far is 7. I do know that some of these fish, this one here, I'm not even sure what type it is, but it has really colored up. It's just absolutely a gorgeous fish. And I do run low light on this tank too. Now this poor guy here, it just has no tail anymore. But somebody always has to be on the bottom of the totem pole. And I don't want to add new fish to it because I'm afraid of bringing in parasites or something like that. So anyway, I have new fry in that one also. And this tank down here is a 55, and this is the catch-all tank. I did pot some red cryptocorns in pots with just potting soil, threw dirt on them. They're doing really good. They've quadrupled in size. And I have some various angels in there. I have some giant danios, a little rainbow fish that's really starting to show some color. I have a little firemouth cichlid. I have black mollies. I have, it's a catch-all tank is what it is. So it's not anything that, that's from one particular region. It is just a little bit of everything. A lot of people may not agree with this, but this is my phosphate reactor from my saltwater aquarium that the fitting went bad, and I put my beta in there. It does really, really well. It's not a big area, but it's bigger than the ones bigger when you see them in a cup. So anyway, he's doing fine. This rack here is the largest rack that I have, and it holds 4 aquariums. This top one up here is a 40 breeder, and this is basically my planted community tank. I have a lot of red cryptocorns. I have some Anubias nana. I have some various types of Anubias, and some have gotten very big. And I have Serpe tetras in here. I have mollies in here. There's a couple of head and tail light tetras in here, and of course there's bushy nose plecostomus scattered throughout all of these tanks if you can ever find them. The red cryptocorns are doing well. The Anubias are doing well. It's a nice tank. I have this moss ball that's getting huge. So anyway, really nice tank. It's doing great. Below that, and unfortunately they're hiding. They're always hiding. This is a 40 breeder. This is my sunshine peacock colony. I had a really beautiful colony, and something got introduced, and I lost everything. But I did have fry, and these are the fry. There's one zipping around behind there. There's 1 male and I think 5 females. I'm thinking about buying some online and adding some more to it. And I need some ditherfish in there bad. This tank up here is a 29 high, and this is my Amazon biotope tank, and it's, it takes a long time, but it's really came together. I mean, the color is perfect, the tannins are perfect. I have the almond leaves. I throw almond leaves in there about once a month. It takes them about that long to decay. I tried to get rummy nose tetras you know, to live through shipping. They ship really hard. All I have is one. I have this little tetra, which I'm not exactly sure what kind it is. My angel's doing wonderful in there. And I tried to get a school of pencilfish, and of course I have one. That's the only one that actually made it through quarantine. So anyway, it's doing fine. Oh, I have my little bronze cories in here too. And there are 2 of them in there. So that tank is really, really coming together. It's just doing very well. Can't quite see that because of my, I do use Sharpies to make notes on all these tanks. This one down here is a 29-gallon tank, and this is my pair of firemouth cichlids. There's the big male, and there's the female, and they're getting ready to spawn again. They spawn all the time. Really neat. And then I have some red-eye tetras in there for, you know, to kind of break things up and get them out there, get a little dither fish. This is my newest rack that I just added. I built this. This is my guppy rack. I got 4 different types of guppies. I had the red cobra guppies, the blonde tuxedo guppies, the green cobra guppies, and neon blue tuxedo guppies. The red cobra guppies, the only one that made it through quarantine is that one right there. So obviously I'm not going to get fry out of one fish. And same way with the blonde tuxedo guppy. I only have one. So I'm going to try to pick up some more to add to those. But the green cobras, I did add some plants in there. They have had fry, and this tank here is actually a 10-gallon that's split. So there's fry in there. I don't know how many there are, a dozen or something like that. They're doing very well, doing good. And then the neon blue tuxedo guppies are also have spawned, and I have fry in there too. So the guppy project is coming along. I'm thinking seriously, I've never done shrimp, and I'm thinking about doing shrimp in these top 2 tanks instead of the guppies. And the other thing, which is kind of my pride and joy, this is my roast recent tank that I added, and this is a 150 tall. It's 31 inches tall, it's 24 inches front to back, and it's 4 foot wide. So it's a beautiful tank. This is my discus project, and so I have red cryptocorns that I put in there, and they're doing very, very well. The valves in the back they're coming along, but they're slow. My Anubias is doing very good. I have some Amazon swords back there that are starting to do better. Another Anubias here, and some more cryptocorns down on the edge. And what I have in here is I put some black mollies in there, and they have spawned. I do have molly fry in there. I also have a number of neon tetras. I have bought about 65 neon tetras to come up with these. Are the only ones that made it through quarantine. I'm done buying fish in the winter. So anyway, the other thing I have in there is I have a school. There's 3 panda cories, and they're getting a little bit bigger. That's about all I have in there. I have some other tetras in there too. That's these little guys right here. These are the silver tip tetras. And once I put the silver tip tetras in there, then everybody came out, and they spend most of the time up high. The silver tip tetras stay up high. The neon tetras kind of stay in the middle, and the mollies just go anywhere they want. And I'm going to do Ditkus in this tank eventually. That is my plan. I do inject CO2. It's the first time I'd ever done that. It's doing very, very well. Plant growth is amazing. So I also have a water change system in here so that I can change about 35 to 40% of this tank every week with RODI water. So anyway, that is my fish tour for today. And I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, like, subscribe, let me know. If you see anything you think I should be doing different or have any ideas, I really would appreciate it. This is Studnickaaquatics. Till the next video, later.